I'm 73 years old, and what I'm about to tell you will probably make you uncomfortable. Good. Comfort is a slow poison that's been killing your dreams while you sleep. You need to hear this, not because I'm wise, but because I wasted half a century learning it the hard way. And I see you making the same mistakes I made, walking the same path I walked, believing the same lies I believed. Let me be blunt. Everything you've been taught about life is designed to make you useful, not happy, productive, not fulfilled, busy, not present. And by the time you realize it, you'll have given away the best years of your life to a system that never cared about you in the first place. I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking this doesn't apply to you. You're different. You have a plan. You'll figure it out. You have time. That's exactly what I thought at your age, and I was catastrophically wrong. For 52 years, I lived like a man running from a fire that didn't exist. I worked 70-hour weeks. I missed birthdays. I skipped vacations. I told my kids, maybe next time. So often it became a family joke. Except nobody was laughing. I believed I was building something, securing a future, being responsible. I told myself that sacrifice now meant freedom later, that if I just pushed hard enough, long enough, eventually I'd earn the right to actually enjoy my life. Then one Tuesday morning, sitting in a conference room pretending to care about quarterly projections, my heart decided it had enough. The pain hit like a freight train, the room tilted, and in that moment, facing what I thought was the end, one thought screamed through my mind louder than anything else. I've wasted it. All of it. Not wasted on the wrong things. Wasted on nothing. On motion without meaning. On achievements that evaporated the moment they were accomplished. On a version of success that looked impressive in LinkedIn posts, but felt hollow at 3 a.m. The doctor said I was lucky. My wife cried with relief. My colleagues sent flowers. But lying in that hospital bed, monitors beeping, tubes in my arms, I felt something I'd never allowed myself to feel before. Rage. Rage at how blind I'd been, how obedient, how willing to trade my actual life for the performance of living someone else's script. Here's what nobody tells you when you're young and hungry and convinced you can have it all. You can't. Not because you're not talented enough or driven enough, but because having it all is a myth designed to keep you producing until you're too old to remember what you wanted in the first place. I had it all, by every conventional measure. The house, the title, the respect, the retirement account. And you know what all of it bought me? Decades of anxiety, a medicine cabinet full of pills, and the suffocating awareness that I barely knew my own children. My daughter got married last year. Beautiful ceremony. During her speech, she thanked me for always providing for the family, not for being there, not for understanding her, for providing. Like I was a particularly reliable ATM machine. That word haunted me for months. Provided. Past tense. Transaction complete. Is that what I worked for? To be remembered as someone who showed up with money but never with presence? Let me tell you about my friend David. Brilliant guy. Built a company from nothing. Sold it for tens of millions. By 45, he had everything a person could want, except he was miserable. Divorced twice. Kids who barely spoke to him. Couldn't sleep without pills. Couldn't relax without alcohol. One night, drunk and honest, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "I won a game I don't even want to play anymore, and I can't figure out how to quit." 3 years later, he was dead. Heart attack. Just like mine, except his didn't come with a second chance. At his funeral, his son stood up to speak. 23 years old, voice shaking. He said, "My father taught me how to succeed. He never taught me how to live." The room was silent, and I realized he could have been talking about me. That's when it hit me with brutal clarity. We're not afraid of failure. We're afraid of insignificance. So we fill our lives with noise, with busyness, with accomplishments we can point to as proof that we matter. But none of it actually matters. Not the way we think it does. I spent 3 decades building a reputation. You know how long it took for people to forget about me after I retired? 6 months, maybe less. The world moved on. Projects I stressed over for years were abandoned or replaced. Decisions I agonized about became irrelevant. And the things I sacrificed for that career, for that reputation, for that illusion of importance, those are gone forever. I can't get back the soccer games I missed, The bedtime stories I was too tired to read. The conversations with my wife that got postponed until we had nothing left to say to each other. The friendships that withered because I was always too busy, always promising to reconnect when things slow down. Things never slow down. That's the lie that keeps you running in place. You think you have time, you look at your life and see years stretching out ahead of you, decades even. So you postpone, you delay, you tell yourself you'll pursue your real dreams after you've checked off a few more boxes, after you've earned a little more security, after the timing is perfect. The timing is never perfect, and every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow and move to Bali. I'm not saying responsibility doesn't matter. I'm saying most of what you call responsibility is actually fear dressed up in adult clothing. Fear of judgment. Fear of not measuring up. Fear of disappointing people who are too busy running their own race to notice yours. You're so worried about doing the right thing that you've forgotten to ask what the right thing actually is. Right for whom? According to what standard? In service of what life? My biggest regret isn't the risks I took. It's the risks I didn't take. The business I didn't start because the timing wasn't perfect. The trip I didn't take because I couldn't afford to miss work. The creative project I abandoned because it wasn't practical. You know what's not practical? Spending 50 years building a life you don't actually want. After my heart attack, I did something radical. I stopped. I cancelled meetings. I stepped back from commitments. I started saying no to things that didn't genuinely matter to me. After my heart attack, I did something radical. I stopped. I cancelled meetings. I stepped back from commitments. I started saying no to things that didn't genuinely matter to me. And people were furious, confused, disappointed. They accused me of being selfish, of changing, of not being the person they thought I was. They were right. I had changed. I had finally woken up. I started asking one simple question before agreeing to anything. Will I remember this? Not will it benefit my career. Not will it make me look good. Will I actually remember it when I'm dying? That question eliminated about 80% of what I was doing. I started spending time with my grandchildren. Really spending time. Not checking my phone while they talked. I started traveling with my wife. Not to impressive destinations we could post about, but to places we were actually curious about. I started painting, something I'd loved as a kid but abandoned because it wasn't useful. And here's the strange part. The part that would have shocked my younger self. In these last 21 years, with less time ahead than behind, with a body that reminds me daily of its limitations, I've been happier than I ever was in my so-called prime. Because happiness isn't what we're taught. It's not an achievement, it's not a destination, it's not something you earn through sufficient suffering. It's a decision to pay attention to your actual life instead of the life you think you're supposed to be living. Your life is happening now. Not next year, not after the promotion, not when you finally get your act together. Now. And every moment you spend waiting for it to start is a moment you've lost forever. I look at young people today and I see myself stressed, anxious, convinced that if they just work hard enough, sacrifice enough, optimize enough, they'll eventually arrive at some magical place where everything makes sense. That place doesn't exist. There's no finish line where you get to finally relax and enjoy what you've built. The demands never stop. The pressure never eases. The goalpost keeps moving. And while you're busy chasing it, your parents are aging, your relationships are deteriorating, and your own life is passing by like scenery through a train window. My father died when I was 47. We had a complicated relationship. I always thought we'd fix it someday. We'd sit down, talk it through, find understanding. Someday never came. He had a stroke. 3 days later, he was gone. And all those conversations I'd planned, all that reconciliation I'd postponed, all those questions I wanted to ask, they died with him. Grief isn't just about missing someone. It's about regretting the love you didn't express while you had the chance. I'm 73 now. I look in the mirror and see an old man I don't quite recognize. My hands shake sometimes. I forget words. I get tired easily, but I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid because I finally understand what matters. And what matters is shockingly simple. Being kind, being present, being honest, telling people you love them, doing work that feels meaningful to you, not impressive to others, saying yes to experiences and no to obligations. choosing connection over achievement, choosing peace over productivity. Everything else is noise. Expensive, exhausting, ultimately meaningless noise. If you take nothing else from this, take this. Your time is finite, not in an abstract, someday I'll die way, in a real, counting down, never coming back way. Every hour you spend in a job you hate is an hour you'll never get back. Every relationship you neglect is growing colder. Every dream you postpone is becoming less likely. Every maybe later is probably never. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to stop waiting for a moment that feels right and start with the moment you have. Call your parents. Book the trip. Start the project. Have the conversation. Take the chance. Stop performing and start living. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's easy. It's not. Changing course after years of momentum is terrifying. People will judge you. You'll doubt yourself. There will be moments when you want to retreat back into the comfortable numbness of routine. But the alternative is worse. The alternative is waking up at 73, looking back, and realizing you spent your entire life preparing for a moment that never arrived. Don't waste your years the way I wasted mine. Don't wait for a heart attack to teach you what should have been obvious all along. Your life is now. The people you love are here now. The dreams you have are possible now, not someday, now. And if you can't start living fully right this moment, then tell me when exactly do you think you will?